I've been told to talk about personal branding. And the way I want to do it is to make it as interactive as possible. Because he or this your people at the or that they know more than you. It is something that we experience every day. I would even suggest it is who we are. And therefore, as we move along, I would want to some of us is that we are analog and it takes time to very good. So let's go straight to what is branding? First of all, before we go to personal branding, what is branding? When you talk about branding, what are we talking about? And I'm saying branding is about making the consumer, because you are branding yourself in relationship. You are branding yourself in relationship to third parties. You're not branding yourself for your own sake, because where would you do it? You are branding yourself because of the third parties who you interact with. These are the terms of calling consumers. So branding is about making consumers feel good about supporting a company. When you're talking about an organization like Outspan, and establishing an emotional connection. Again, as we move along, we dwell a little more on that emotional connection. Because it is only when you get that emotional connection that you actually move from day to day and you start saying, I want that one, I'm not the other one. Those that brand effectively create a lasting impression that helps grow advocacy and loyalty among customers and for the long term. And I think we all know about, maybe I can take 1 minute to say, if I just point at what brand comes into your mind, and I start with your what brand comes to your mind. Do you hear me? Very good. The brand that comes into the mind of your Outspan. I tell you which brand comes into your mind. Let us diversify to know what brand comes to your mind.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Now, if we talk about Coca-Cola, we are going to talk about, in fact, what is the personal brand of Coca-Cola, and why are they where they are. And we will go to explore that as well. Now, and then we will talk a little about what is personal branding. And personal branding is about, one, building a distinct personality. A distinct personality where we say, my brand, as this gentleman, is different from this gentleman. Because if you're all the same, even if you're doctors, if you're all the same and if you're identical, we consumers, how do we know if you're all the same? So you are actually in the business. When you wake up in the morning and do whatever you have to do, you are actually in the business of trying to distinguish yourself and creating a different brand from the guidance. Even if you're colleagues, you have to create a different brand. It is a positioning statement. And positioning statement is one that ends up saying, I am or you are the ones who. Again, as we continue this conversation this evening, remember that we are going to go around at some point and ask yourself who you are. And who you are is your ability to say, I, Dr. Kiboi, am the one who. If you are able to finish that sentence in 3 or 4 or 5 words, then you clearly understand who you are. If, however, I ask Dr. Kiroi who he is, and he gives me 5 paragraphs, shows that he has not clearly articulated who he is. Because when you are naming no. In fact, you talk about Coca-Cola. You know what Coca-Cola is? It doesn't know which country food in the world. Coca-Cola believes in one line. They believe they want to be within arm's length of desire. Right? Coca-Cola says, we can be everything else. We'll be refreshing, we'll be this, but we want to be within arm's length of desire. If the president of Coca-Cola comes and starts visiting Kimomo and goes to 3 or 4 shops and finds that Coca-Cola is not there, that's where we'll be fine. Because it doesn't matter. Coca-Cola's business is to make sure you're in that kiosk. There's a place, and you know, do they achieve that? Do they achieve that? Because they don't achieve it accidentally, because there are many other things that can be those kiosks and supermarkets and lookers. They do that because in one line, if you say, who is Coca-Cola? They say, we are the ones who are things. I think we have to choose who to present, me or you. Let me finish. Yeah, so finish. Because they're still presenting. Oh, I see. Is that better? Okay, alright. No problem. So it's a positioning statement. It is an outward look of it's the outward look of what you really want to be known as. And that is what we say, that is what Coca-Cola is about. If you're going to look at a few different. So why a personal brand? Because it gives you that recognition of who you are. It also gives you authority. I am a heart surgeon. By the way, if I say heart surgeon, and let's be, who comes to mind if we say heart surgeon? Anybody who comes to mind when you say heart surgeon? Huh? Dr. Egonyo? Okay, me, the guy who comes to mind is a guy called Christian Barnard. And you know who Christian Barnard is? He's a guy who did the first open heart surgery. And yet, Egonyo, other people. Now, what he has done is to make himself occupy that position in your mind. And the other way I prefer to look at your mind, if you can imagine your mind as a ladder, right? A ladder that goes up. In that ladder, there will be a heart surgeon will be number 10, another will be number 7, another will be number 6, then there will be one who is number 1. Oftentimes, when you need the heart surgeon, you go to the one who is number 1. Because that is the one that is top of your mind. People come to you, you don't go to people. And that's the beauty of creating a brand. When you create a strong brand, and I'm Dr. Kirobi, who does and finishes that sentence, then people come to you. And you wake up in the morning, if you're a doctor, and find a lot of you outside your office. The reason they find is not because they saw there is a person called their time. It is the reason there is a queue out there is because they are coming to Dr. Matt. Because he has occupied that place in the consumer's mind. Now, so why brand yourself? We are saying developing a strong personal brand can be the key to raising above the competition. Because again, even if you're working together in Outspan, you still must create your own brand within the context of Outspan. And it helps you to rise above the competition. It serves as a shortcut to convey your skill set and style, whether you are coordinator looking beyond your current job responsibilities. And here we're talking about not just if you're a doctor, whatever you do. In fact, I want to suggest that when you see people being pushed, when we finish college, we all get interview, they say, this guy looks like he can do the job. But from that moment onwards, when you have served a year, 2, 3, 4 years, you get pushed from one institution to another because people are beginning to appreciate your brand. And your brand is a sample of your capabilities and everything else that you carry with you. So branding is an exceptionally effective way to broadcast who you are to your target market quickly and efficiently. That gentleman will say that. So so a good brand is, again, I would say there are 3 things that you need to test, whether it's a good brand or whether the position that you are occupying in a consumer's mind is realistic. The first one is it has to be meaningful. And let's say, if I say meaningful, what do I mean? If I say I want to jump from here over this seat, that's meaningful. Yeah, people can understand how I can jump. Although I'm sure everybody here says I can't jump. But I think generally people might think that I can. But yeah, is it credible? Does it have credibility in terms of what I'm saying I'm going to do, whether it is jumping here? Yeah, maybe it is credible. What about if I have said I want to jump over from here to this side? Is it meaningful? Yes, it's meaningful because you understand how I can jump. Is it credible? Is it credible that I can jump here? Why? You want me to try? Most probably it is not credible. And then finally, is it competitive? By competitive is asking yourself, what I'm trying to say that I want to do, is there anything unique about it? It's like, if I come to Dr. and he tells me, we're going to ask me, I say, hey, I've come all the way and the man told me to take you aspirin. I feel that is not competitive. Sometimes it is good to, and I guess that is why Dr. use complicated language. Because even if it is aspirin, you acetyl salicylic acid. Then I feel I have been treated. So it is important that when you are thinking about your own brand, think about one, what I want to be. Is that meaningful? Does it make sense? Is it credible? And credible, can I deliver that? If I say I want to jump over here, can I deliver? If I told people I want to jump here, they will say, they will not believe it and they will move on. Because they know what I'm saying is not credible. In your medical profession, what is it that you can say and people say, if you are let's say, a heart surgeon, and then you position yourself, because you must hear about the ear to a person, then you position yourself at something else, maybe musculoskeletal, whatever. Then you say, yeah, what he's saying is meaningful, yes, but it is not credible. So it is important that you make sure that it's meaningful, it's credible, and finally it is competitive. Competitive means I know I can position myself like that because I am qualified to do it, and this is where I spend most of my time. So I don't care whether I'm competing with Dr. Kirohe or Dr. Mate or Dr. Who. I know I can do it. I know I'm credible. So those three things are things that are important. And ultimately, it is not you who measure whether they are right things or not. It is ultimately about consumer experience. Because when you talk about branding, it is not really you say, I'll set up to do this. We, the consumers, are the ones who are going to judge. And that is why we say, hey, then you go for so and so, and then you finish that line. Or so and so did, then you finish that line. Ultimately, it is the consumer, it is your target audience who judges whether that is meaningful or not. Let's look at a few global brands. I talked about Coca-Cola, refreshing within arm's length of desire. Volvo all over the world, I don't know how they are doing these days, but Volvo all over the world, they never position themselves as a car for speed. They never position themselves as a car for matatu. Volvo, right from the factory, they've always positioned themselves as the safest car. So whatever they did, in fact, when you look at this, what do you call this, when you have an accident, what are those things that come out? Airbags. Volvo are the ones who first came out with the airbags. Why? Because even at the factory, when they are meeting and when they are thinking about how to improve their brand, they are thinking about how to improve their brand in the sense of safety, because they want to be known as a most safe brand, as opposed to Mercedes and BMW. Mercedes and BMW compete on comfort, on luxury. They're the most comfortable brand, the most luxurious brand, and you can see how each has carved their own niche, which is what is important. These guys have carved their niche in comfort and luxury. Volvo almost sits alone in the area of safety, because that is what they communicate to their target consumer. What do you communicate? As a medical professional, what do you communicate? What is it that you say you are? I have added the relation there. Would you agree with me? Because that is what I sold for 10 years. Everything that we did, whether we did it correctly or not, we positioned ourselves and we used to judge ourselves about whether what we did was true or not. And that is what we say in the relation. We say all we want to be known for is
true, so that whether it is true or not, so that if you hear Kamuchene somewhere, you want to check, was it in the nation? That is how we got to position ourselves. You can mark us out of 10, I'm not there anymore. but we're still relatives. So, what about Outspan? Am I correct about the positioning of Outspan? We can debate. In fact, we shall have Atari there to tell us what is the positioning of Outspan. I was just thinking from what I see, affordable care for all. And you know why I said that? Because one of the things that Outspan does, and does well, is as it is in the business of the business it does, Outspan doesn't sell the machines. Correct? You don't sell the machines. So when I say affordable care for all, it's not that you want to give away, but you are saying we want to make ourselves affordable because we do not want to chase away people or tell something where we cannot be treated. But that time is the best place to tell us the position. Now, the 5 C's of creating a brand. First of all, I think I've talked about credibility, and here I've used an extreme. If you are thief, you need to be extremely good in stealing. That is why, there's a guy who was called Wano. You guys remember Wano? Why is Wano more famous than the petty thieves you have in here? Because he's really getting on petty thieves. The reason that you remember Wano is because when he set out to steal, he really stole. He really stole. He focused on it, he did a good job of it, and he became famous. So that even when he got caught, he knew how to escape. So before he was lying on another, I think he had been caught many times and he had away with it. He practiced the art of stealing and became excellent at it. What is your position? What is this that you are practicing in the medical profession that you want to be so good that we'll be talking about you many kilometers from here, many miles, probably even in another country, where we are saying that person, you finish that line. That person, you finish that line. So credibility. Consistently is the same. He stole consistently because that was his business. His business was to steal, so he did not say today is Sunday. He woke up to steal and he stole. Right? And therefore he obtained. Remember, it is a ladder. And in that ladder there is leaf number 20. That's the guy who big pockets who will be okay, it is the out to win number 1. Leaf number 1 was Onobu because he did an extremely good job of it. I use that an extreme to say, you as a medical professional, you as a teacher, you as, what is it that you do so well that when people talk about you in places that you're not? And by the way, branding is about people talking about you in places that you're not. You create demand away from where you are. So, clarity, you have no apologies and you put your energy there. So whatever it is, you put so much energy. Maybe psychology, I can see our psychologists over there. You put so much energy that when we see you walking, that is all you're thinking about. Because you have managed to create that position in that ladder. That ladder, you are trying to occupy that position in that ladder. But in order for you to do that, you must deliver content, and that is important. You must deliver content. You cannot say that you are Volvo and you want to be known as the safest car in the world, and then you make a truth. The two cannot go together. If you want to invest in being the safest car in the world, then put all the energies and everything you have in becoming the safest car in the world, and then we should be recognized for that. But if you say you're the safest car in the world, and then you make a truth, then there's a dichotomy. You are not going to get yourself in that ladder. Remember the ladder? You are not going to get yourself at the top there. And then, if you do that, if you have the right content, then you will have connection. And when that connection with the consumer is what you eat from, maybe that is I'm translating to the English. That is what you eat. Connecting yourself with the consumer so that they're talking about somebody is living in Meru, another one is living in Nara, because he's been told there is Dr. Kirovi. And Dr. Kirovi, when you go and see Dr. finish that. Or there is Outspan Medical College. We hear, if you go to Outspan Medical College, you finish that sentence. What happens in Outspan Medical College that makes somebody say, I don't even want to go to any other institution in the world? Because when they go to Outspan Medical College, finish that line. In 3 or 4 words, when you find Madam Lady. So now, I'm calling from Kilgoris to come and fight Madam Lady. But I think there must be more than that. That will make, when I see the people here graduating, there must be more than that. So finishing that in 3 or 4 words that shows clarity about who you are is what branding is about. So if you have that leads to the following. First, it leads to the right image. You are saying that is a kind of image that I want to depict to the outside world, because that is ultimately what is demanded. It gives that the right experience, because you invest your energy in doing that so many times that you become the expert. That is why when we ask athletes, name for me a good athlete. If I ask that corner and everybody was whispering, I think probably 9 out of 10 will name the same person. Name an athlete for me. Kipchoge, I believe that is what you're thinking about. He has managed to create that position in the consumer mind that when you think athlete, think Kipchoge. But it was not always like that. That is a very recent. What about golf? And one of the things that Tiger Woods said, by the way, is because somebody, when he was being interviewed, somebody said, Mr. Woods, you must be very lucky. You know what you write? I may be lucky, but you know what I've realized? The more I practice, the luckier I get. The more I practice, the luckier I get. Which means that once you occupy, you want a certain position, you want to be the best golfer in the world, then you have to do that many times. In fact, I think it's Bill Gates who said that for you to become an expert in something, you have to put at least 10,000 hours. And I think that has been repeated by several people. You've got to be known for that area, whether you're teaching, whether you are a doctor, whether you are whatever business you're doing. You must do it consistently so well and so often and so consistently that you become known as that brand. And that is what will lead to trust. And that is why somebody will come and say, hey, me, I'm going all the way to Yale because I want to be operated. I want to be operated. I want to be operated like that. Because of that experience has led to trust. And once it leads to trust, it develops a relationship. So this is the other thing about brands. I mean, that you have relationships with so many thousands of people that you don't know, that you have never met. Because somebody will say, no, I'm living at home. Oh, Danny, come and see. Come and see. Why? Because of what they have heard over time about you. And they them sitting outside there waiting for you. So the question is, what do you need to do to create that position in that ladder? It shows when you see somebody coming, it's because you are in that ladder, you are right at the top, amongst the target audience. And this is what I'm saying. That is where coaching happens. If you are an employee, when you say, now I want a brand manager, or I want a marketing manager, you listen in, and you say, so and so. You are trying to coach somebody whose brand has established itself, and you think that person is going to sort you out. Now, creating a distinct brand, because ultimately, hopefully, we've established why you need to create a distinct brand, and now I'm saying, how do you do that? And when you think about creating a distinct brand, there are 3 things that I think one ought to think about. The first one is what most people want to see. In other words, what is the need that people want solved? The second one is what do are the competitors struggling with? Remember, we're trying to talk about uniqueness, and then we talk about the standards that I do. Maybe I do what, for example, is I do refreshments, tropical refreshments. Now, what do people want to see? I think people want to see an air freshener with a very good fragrance, probably affordable. Then, what are the competitors struggling with? I think it's talking about vanilla, this and this and this. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to get a fragrance that is not even available in Kenya. Am I able to do that? What do you do best? Am I able to do that? Am I able to get that fragrance that nobody else is getting? If I meet the needs of what people want to see, and I get into a space where competitors are struggling, and I do it very well, then that is the sweet spot that we come back again and again and again. Now, in your profession, what is it? What is it? I think once upon a time, Daktari, you allow me to say this. Once upon a time, Daktari finished college, started practicing, and he chose to come to Yale. And I remember us having a conversation about, hey, what do you do? You know, why Yale? I know it is the home, but why Yale? Whether consciously or subconsciously, these are the circles that are going through his mind. What is the need? What do people want to see? And maybe they need to see very good medical services in Yale. What are people struggling with? They probably don't have those as good facilities. Am I able to do that well? And when you get that sweet spot, then you get Outspan medical, Outspan teaching and referral hospital. It becomes a unique brand. It becomes a brand that is actually able to compete with the brands in Nairobi, because it was established in a place that people needed it. It had superiority over competition, and it developed. It had people who do it very well. So once you get the sweet spot, whether it is at your personal level as a doctor, whether it is a company, whether it is Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola has most many brands that have failed. And when they launch a brand and it fails, it's because they're not able to get to this spot where you know what people need, you know that it is not being done very well by competitors, and you know that you can deliver. If you don't get that intersection, then it is unlikely that you're going to create a brand that is going to be successful. So in your profession, what is it that you want to position yourself and create superiority over competition? And I'm not just talking to doctors, I'm talking about even your own personal brand. Everybody has a personal brand. However, we say how you get to the sweet spot, but what influences how you get to the sweet spot? I think what influences that is, again, I will still use an example that it is the vision that you have. What is the vision? When you see 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what is it that you are figuring out in your mind that you want to be, what position do you want the consumers or your target audience to be? The next one is even the mission. How do you want to go about it? And finally, again, when the vision and your values and your mission meet and get to that sweet spot, then it is likely that the position, the personality that you are creating is a personality that is going to be credible, meaningful, credible, and competitive. So your brand then is driven by the values. It is also driven by the passion that you have. There is no point of saying that I want to do, let's say, a juice, and then half of the time the juice is not there, half of the time you're out of stock, half of the time your price is not right. So it's something that you must be passionate about. You must always ensure that the attributes that are important to you are in that brand consistently. The experience, the behavior, the education, and I think education, everybody who wants to create a brand, particularly in the professional circles, everybody who wants to create a personal brand that is going to be distinctive must invest in continuous education because things tend to change very fast. Goals, skills, etc. Now, so, ladies and gentlemen, so to build a brand, we are saying, one, you must be single-minded. You cannot be saying that I want to be the best doctor in the world, and in the morning you are a doctor, and in the afternoon you are in a butcher. And there's nothing wrong with a butcher. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a butcher. You cannot be, you know, we see it is a ladder, and you want to be right at the top there. And now you're making the consumers debate between doctor and butcher. You know, the consumers make this business. You want to create one. You have one chance of occupying that place in that ladder, and it's you who is going to decide what do I want the consumer. What do I want to be in that ladder? And then you create competition for yourself. You know, you're creating competition for yourself because you're saying in the morning I'm at a time, in the evening I am the one who is overseeing a butcher. I'm just giving extreme examples. Or the chairman of the Product Buyers Association. There's nothing wrong with being chairman of the Product Buyers Association. Probably in the country today, again, you know, he's already established, or the child there, he's already established himself. We are talking about the journey towards creating a single-minded proposition about who you want to be. That journey cannot be mixed with these other things. You must be single-minded. The next thing I think that you need to be, in fact, a good one said, for those who may have done some marketing somewhere, there's a guy called Phil Kotler. He said, being everything to everyone is a recipe for strategic mediocrity and below average performance, because it often means that a consumer or you offer yourself or a firm offers itself no competitive advantage. And basically it is talking about this. You cannot be this and this and this and expect the consumer to give you one thing. I am the doctor who also has a butcher. Or I'm the doctor who etc. It is important, and that is why I ask, when you mention the heart surgery, who comes when you say Dr. Ekoya? It doesn't mean Dr. Ekoya doesn't have throats. It doesn't mean the man will even be having a butcher before him. But in the journey to becoming that position, it is important that you are single-minded, because we are the ones who create a great craft in the consumer's mind. Because Mara, you're saying this is who I am, Mara is saying this is who I am, Mara is saying this is who I am, instead of doing something so well, so consistently that the consumer is able to finish in one line about who you are. The next thing is, you must also strive to be the best in the area, in the region, in the world. I'll give you an example. Once upon a time, in fact, this is a story I read, and I know it was 1982, because I think I was there. I read in the Daily Nation. There was a guy who had been featured Mokokoteni. He was a Mokokoteni guy. And you know how Mokokoteni guys are. You know, if you're passing a Mokokoteni guy, you know how they are. This guy had been featured that he was looking exactly how they look like. But you know what? The story was about the fact that he had done the Mokokoteni business so well that he had saved, bought a second Mokokoteni, bought a third Mokokoteni. He had 70 Mokokotenis. Yeah, he had 70 Mokokotenis. You know what why he was featured? Because he was saying now in the morning, he was putting them in a yard near the world. He says in the morning, people who are coming to look for those things, I ask them for the ID, unachukua ID, unachukua Mokokoteni. In the evening, you return the Mokokoteni, you pay 10 shillings. It's 1982, you pay 10 shillings, and then you get back your ID. Now let us do a little bit of an investment. 70 Mokokotenis, 10 shillings, how much is that? 700. And these guys don't have service. So 10 Saturdays. Hello? 21,000. Now 21,000 in 1982 was more than even what a permanent secretary was earning. Correct? It was a lot of money. In fact, if you want to know in dollars, because I think the dollar was about 6 you can see how many dollars it was. It would be equivalent to nearly 400,000 or 500,000 today. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you he created a brand personality, not of a butcherman, and this. He took what he was doing, did it so well. So you could argue he was probably the best hotel person in Kenya. He did it so well. And when you do it so well, then you are earning as much as a doctor, or as much as a PS, or as much as like or whoever in your space. Meaning that whatever position you want to do in your brand, the brand that you're creating, if you do it so well, then you earn as much resources, as much money as anybody else. And that hotel guy is a good example. Or being so single-minded, so focused, the best hotel guy in Kenya was earning the equivalent of $500,000 shillings in today's. So you must. So it's like a savings account in this whole business of creating a brand. You've got to keep putting and ensure that it's not leaking. Ensure that. So you've got to keep adding to what we think of you in terms of who you are professionally. Minimizing withdrawals. So the brand is equal to you. It is not Outspan Hospital or Nairobi Hospital or the other hospital. It's you. Because it is a summation of what you do. Outspan Hospital will be there, but you, lady, you, Dr. Karebe, is your brand. And I think it is a summation of those that will make Outspan. But Outspan can actually exist separate to your own brand. And I think the one thing that one must do is, even when I'm working in Outspan, whatever you're working, worry about your brand, because your brand can also be an instrument of attracting customers or an instrument of chasing customers away. Then you're wondering, see this? So I could be a result, but you know that is not correct. It's easy. Customers seem to have gone down. You know what I'm saying? Uber, it is a brand that this is a wrong example because it's in Kiev, the numbers will be there. So it is about you, and you carry your brand wherever you go. So when you bring it to Outspan, is Outspan better off because you came, or is it worse off because you came? Would Outspan be better off because you went, or would it be worse off because you went? Ensure that you have a premium over the institution. That is a competition. You ensure that me, David Kiroi, has a premium over the institution. Because I'm in Outspan is better off. That is a challenge that we have. And by the way, if Outspan would be better off because you are there, chances are that even your earnings will be superior. Because it will not be very clever to let you go. As the opposite is also true.